Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. In this video, I am being joined by a very snoozy Alf. He is at the base of my tripod here. I'm hoping the snoring is not too terribly loud, but please enjoy the pug ASMR. I find it relaxing. Sorry if you don't, but I love my dog and he wants to hang out with me, so I'm gonna let him. All right, you guys, this is the last video in my little series of reviews for today. If you missed any of the earlier reviews, they were all of the limited edition 3-wick designer candles that I picked up during the first round of their releases on the Kringle website several weeks ago. Finally getting around to burning a lot of these, and have really enjoyed a lot of these scents. One thing I do want to make everyone aware of is that a lot of these are repackages. I think there's a couple of new ones that are popping up in these 3-wick collections, but a lot of them are repackages. I'm pretty sure this Juicy Delight is. In fact, I think this was released in the Country Candle lines. It was like Watermelon Pops or something. I think it was out last summer, but don't quote me on that. Honestly, I am really bad about remembering previous scents sometimes. But Brett over at Philly Candleman has definitely been a lot more informative when it comes to whether something is a repackage or not. I am still, I would say, somewhat new to purchasing Kringle candles, in that I started purchasing them again a couple of years ago. The first time was 2015. I took a huge break from Kringle for a number of years and then came back to it once they changed a lot of things within their line. So keep in mind that if you're ordering these could be repackages. They are not stating on the website yet whether it's a repackage or not. I am going to go ahead and put a bug in the Kringle team's ear about possibly listing whether these things are repackages or not. I know a lot of people tend to get annoyed by purchasing a repackage. I don't. I guess it's not something that I necessarily stress about. Like if I get something and it's a repackage, a lot of times I view that as like a pleasant surprise, but I also see where other people are like, oh, I've already had this. Like I just want to try new stuff, you know? Whereas to me, that's not as important. So yeah, anyway, I do think it's a good idea that they list that on the website so people are familiar. That way, if you don't want to order a repackage, then, you know, you'll know. This one here, I'm fairly certain is a fragrance that I think was called Watermelon Pops. It was in the Country Candle line. It just smells very similar to that. And I think it was actually out last summer, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm really not going to be the person that's going to stress whether things are repackages or not. So, but I do think for those of you that do care about that, it would be helpful if Kringle listed it. That might be, if that's important to you, I would highly encourage you to DM Kringle or to send their customer service an email to say, hey, it would be greatly appreciated if you could list, you know, whether this is a repackage or not, at least on the website. Like, I don't think it needs to be listed on the candle. I think a company has the right to change the name of a fragrance. It's their fragrance. They can do whatever they want with it, you know, but it would be helpful to know for a lot of you, I think, whether you have purchased this before or not. So, if you missed the earlier videos, check those out in the description box down below. But in this video here, we are discussing Juicy Delight. And as you can see, as of today's burn, I am just about at the halfway point. I have really enjoyed this scent, and I think that I actually really enjoyed it in the Country Candle line. However, when I tried this in Country, it was still the paraffin wax. And I just don't love paraffin. I know a lot of you guys still do. It's just not something that has ever really appealed to me. I mean, even back in the day when I was purchasing Yankee candles and they were paraffin. I didn't necessarily love that. As soon as I started experiencing a lot of soy wax, even soy blends, I was like, yeah, this is the wax formula that really kind of appeals to me. Like, I can smell the paraffin, or like I can just tell that it's paraffin wax by the way that it smells. Like there's this weird waxiness that mixes in with the fragrances. And usually the fragrance oils cover it up pretty well, but I can still detect it. So for me, the fact that a lot of these country candle scents are now popping over into these 3 wicks is fantastic, because I've loved a lot of the country scents in terms of most of them being a lot more gourmand or fruity than what we were getting in the, you know, traditional 2-wick, like apothecary style candle jars. So, all right, let's do the scent description here. Juicy Delight, mouth-watering, juicy watermelon blends with fresh lime, mint, and sugar. Your top notes here are watermelon and lime. The mid notes are lemon and green, as well as watermelon again. And the base is sugar and what else? Watermelon. So we've got a lot of watermelon happening here. Let's talk about like what type of watermelon this is, because there is a very authentic, realistic watermelon. And then there is a more, I guess, what you could call artificial, almost candied type of watermelon scent. I would put this one kind of in between the two, but leaning more towards that candied watermelon scent, because this very much reminds me of watermelon Jolly Ranchers, which when I was a kid, my 2 favorite Jolly Rancher flavors were the sour apple and the watermelon. This smells very, very similar to my beloved watermelon Jolly Ranchers, which I haven't had in years. Are they still being sold? I feel like Jolly Ranchers is still being sold. I haven't like looked for them in the store, but I'm sure they're still there. There are some definite hints of lime in this particular scent, but I wouldn't call it lime forward at all. I think the lime just adds like a touch of like maybe some more freshness to this, if you will, like that nice pop of citrus freshness. And it is more lime juice to my nose than it is lime zest or essence, if you will. I think that lime zest or essence smells a little bit astringent to my nose, whereas lime juice does not. And this does not smell astringent in any kind of way. In terms of lemon, I'm not really picking up much in the way of lemon here. I feel like the citrus that I'm smelling is definitely the lime. And in terms of like sugar, yes, this is a sweet scent. So with a watermelon, you are obviously getting that natural sweetness from, you know, the fruit itself. But this is quite a sweet fragrance just on its own. I think if you like sweet fragrances and you like watermelon normally, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. If you are looking for a super authentic watermelon, I'm not sure this is going to come across as authentic. Like I said, it's kind of in between authentic and candied, but definitely leaning more towards the candied end. Like if you have ever smelled a watermelon Jolly Rancher and maybe you just squeezed some lime juice on that Jolly Rancher and then stuck your nose in that, I feel like that's what you're getting in this particular scent. So hopefully that paints a visual for you there. It's a delicious scent. I love it. I will be buying more of this for the summer months. I really prefer a lot of these fruity scents, like, you know, when it comes to cherry, blueberry, strawberry, peach, watermelon. I prefer these types of scents more so in the summer. It feels weird reviewing them in the spring, but they definitely make me feel like I have a little bit of excitement for the warmer weather months. So yeah, I know that's crazy coming from me. But again, I am trying to embrace all the seasons. Yeah, the older I get, the more I try to not wish time away. Man, especially since I have a kid. If you have children, you know that time just gets away from you very quickly and very easily. So don't wish it away. All right, you guys, strength and throw. I'm getting a really good performance in terms of strength and throw here. I'm gonna put the strength at about between a 7 and a 7.5. This is quite, I would say, strong. I think the vast majority of these 3 wick candles are right in line in terms of what I get from Bath and Body Works, like with strength and throw. So the 7.5 is fine by me. I think that is an adequate amount of fragrance being pumped out from this. And the throw, I'm gonna put it more of like a 6. This isn't much of a traveler, but it might have to do with where I've been putting this candle. Honestly, it has lived most of its life in our family room, which I can certainly smell it in the kitchen when I have it in the family room because those rooms are all connected. I can smell it like wafting into our entryway here. But it doesn't fill the entire downstairs. So I'm gonna give it, 6 is still like a solid medium performance in terms of throw, so I'm not mad at it. This is the type of scent where I definitely see myself also picking up wax melts if they're available and maybe amping up the fragrance a little bit that way. Also just putting 2 of them on, like at opposite ends of the house, I think that would give me more of the coverage that I'm looking for if I wanted to fill the entirety with watermelon and nothing else. But these fruitier Kringle scents are blending really nicely with each other. So if you wanted to do blueberry at one end of the house and watermelon at the other, I think that those 2 would blend beautifully. They'd play really well together, especially with a lot of these lemonade scents that came out with the latest release. So anyway, I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. I love this. I think it's a really delicious scent and it kind of reminds me of my youth and, you know, breaking my teeth on Jolly Ranchers. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments down below. As always, I will link these in the description box. You can use my 15% discount code if you are interested in saving 15%. At the time this video goes up, I don't know if there is going to be a sale on these. Obviously, check the link down below. Could be on sale. And hopefully that saves you a few bucks. All right, you guys, thanks for putting up with the snoring. Alf and I are gonna go and get a snack. I hope you have a great rest of your day and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.